we got a Thermaltake build today, so basically it's just going to be about the case about these Ring 12 RGB painted design fans, and then we've got a 700W TR2 S power supply by Thermaltake, and we're going to be just plugging it in and telling you quickly what bits you get with it before we actually go with the build. And then RGB fans, we're going to test that with a non-RGB motherboard, because this should have a controller that should be able to do it without that. So we're going to be doing that, and obviously in this Thermaltake case, because it makes sense. Thermaltake. Right. So this Thermaltake power supply, when I saw Haswell ready, I thought, what is going on? This is kind of a very old power supply, but it's only just recently come out. It's actually quite brand new. It's like probably about a few weeks old. So this is the TR2 S 700W. There will be a link in the description down below to buy each and every individual product. It's got 3-year warranty, Haswell ready, what's that? ERP ready, 80+ proficiency. And it comes with a cable as well, so like an adapter to plug it in, and it gives you a little description on the back of what you get on the box and stuff, and what you're meant to be able to do with the power supply. But I tend to just actually put it in a build so I can actually look and find out for myself. So I'm just going to untie this, because most people will like to know if they're changing over from an old computer or maybe a new computer, you can actually find out what cables you actually get in the box. So this would be like for quite a new build, and this would be quite cool. So what we got here, so this is a 24 pin, and it's all connected into one. It looks like it can slide out, which it should be able to. And if it could slide out, that would be good if you're using a 20 pin adapter. So yeah, look how easy that is. This is pretty, I don't really see this on most power supplies. Some power supplies are already connected as 24 pin, but this is one that you can just add and it slides in, and you can get this into the motherboard properly. So which way does it go back in? I think it goes back in this way. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it just slides back in, and you know, like when you're using other power supplies and then the little 4 pin keeps coming up and coming out and it takes longer. Yeah, well, it doesn't with this. So you get a decent size with it anyway. Get the cables out the way. That's all the power supply. So let me get the cables. The power supply doesn't feel overly heavy or anything like that. It feels okay. It will do the job. It looks like it would, 80+. It looks quite nice with a little design on the side there. It's got the switch on and off on the back. And then on the top it gives you all the readings. So it's saying like DC output is 3 volts, plus 5 volts, plus 12 volts, plus minus 12 volts, plus 5 volts SB. Maximum output current is 24 amps, 17 amps, 54 amps, 0.5 amps, and 2.5 amps. Max output is 120 watts, 648 watts, 6.0 watts, and 12.5 watts, and total power 700 watts. And yeah, this has got like all the stuff in there. I'm just thinking about the stickers quickly. So if I had it up, oh right, okay. Right, so they complemented the stickers on there. That's pretty cool. You get a 24 pin, which is quite easy, straight out the box. You get an 8 pin EPS connector, which can be split down the middle as well, if you want to. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, so this is another sliding one. So this makes my life a lot more easier. So no 6 pin here, but only 2 4 pin or an 8 pin. Let's get that back in there properly. Fairly easy to get it back in. Anyway, what other cables we got? So we've got a Molex off of 2 SATA connectors. We've got 2 Molex off a SATA connector, and then we've got 2 SATA connectors. So 1 Molex off 2 SATA connectors, and we've got a PCI connectors, 2 6 pin and 2 adjustable to make it 8 pin, and then we've got SATA, Molex, and an old school connector as well. So all in all, we've got quite a few SATAs here. Saying that, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 SATA connectors, and we've got 3 Molex connectors, and then we've got dual PCI. No, we've got dual PCI for 1 graphics card off of there as well. Now, I know like this looks a bit messy with the colours. I don't know why they just don't cover them up completely, but that's the whole point. It's a budget power supply, and it's known by a decent company called Thermaltake, which have been doing this for years. I remember when I had their tough power supply years and years ago. It was like 1500 watts or something stupid like that. It was a lot, and that was like about 5 years ago. Anyway, the power supply is not too bad. I've never had a Thermaltake one fail on me, so I definitely recommend 100%. Plus, it looks a bit more fashionable, other than the mustard cables. But anyway, it's whatever you want to call it. Anyway, we've got now the Riing 12 high static pressure radiator fans. Now, you don't need to put these on radiators, but if you do, there'll be static pressure against them. And there's 3 in this actual kit, and it comes with a controller as well, so I don't need to have RGB on the motherboard. And it does say painted RGB 256 colours. I didn't know you could paint the rainbow, but you can. Or painted it rainbow, you know what I mean. Anyway, these are 120 mil fans. Yeah, the maximum decibels is 26.4 decibels. Maximum rotations per minute is 15 RPM speed, so rotations per minute. But what we're going to do is we're going to test that in the BIOS, and we're going to test the RGBs, and we're going to test the airflow inside this case as well. So we've got 3 fans, plus we've got a non-RGB one in this case. So all in all, we'll have 4. So what I'll do is I won't address this to a radiator, it will just be in the case itself. But it's saying it's got high static pressure, painted LED ring, anti-vibration mounting system, and it's rated voltage is 12 volts, fan speed from 800 to 15 RPM to 400 to 1000. Max airflow is 22.14 to 40.6 CFM, and don't know, when I was using this case, I was pushing some air when I was water cooling and stuff, so it wasn't too bad. Hydraulic bearings, that sounds pretty fancy. 40p PWM controller to motherboard, and fan controller as well. It feels quite weighty. Let's get this out the box, man. Right, so yeah, we got a fan controller right here. So this is nice and simple. Don't need a motherboard, but if you do want to have a motherboard, you should be able to connect into the board. So this will connect into the PWM header. And then we've got speed, play, pause, and mode. So modes where you can change all the colours. Got an LED indicator there. It looks like you can plug. Is it on the fans? Let me have a look quickly. So it comes with these fancy screws as well. Little Velcro straps as well. Let me pull one of these fans out. So looking at these fans straight away, they look pretty cool. They sound pretty smooth. They look nice and premium quality. I like how they've wrapped this up as well. It's nicely cable wrapped. So this is a big PWM black thing. It's quite flat as well, so you could get these in confined spaces. That's quite cool. Now, if I plug this in, so I should get my colours straight away. Is that what you're telling me? Just like that. That'd be quite awesome. So I've got 3 fans out of the kit anyway, so that's all cool. More screws, so, and instructions as well. So you've got 4 screws, and you've got 4 normal screws that you can connect to a radiator as well. That's quite good. You can connect the radiator and then put the fan on top, and then the screws will go into the radiator and stay on the radiator. Or you could just use like the screws that you normally get on the back of the case, undo them. They're like the cross threaded ones where they thread the actual plastic of your fans, and then they stick to the back. So that's pretty cool. Right, let me have a look at these instructions quickly, see if they're actually easy to read. My God, that is really easy to read. Okay. So we've got a controller cable. Where's the controller cable? Alright, that's a so that's a PWM. Do you not get a controller cable in this? Do we have another one? Right, so we'll stick this controller in, and then the fans go in, and then I'm guessing the RGBs go off. Right, okay, this is weird. I've never seen a controller like this, but I'm quite intrigued to see how this works. But yeah, I'm looking on here, installation guide, it's saying just connect all the fans in there, no problem. And you've got like modes, so you've got speed over between two fan speed modes. LED indicator shows blue, normal mode, 800 to 1500 RPM. LED indicator shows red, low noise mode, 400 to 1000 RPM. So that's pretty good little indication. Play and pause. What's play and pause about? When you switch to 256 colour mode, click and to memorise and lock and the colour you want. Click again to unlock 256 colours and an auto rotation. Mode switch over between 6 LED modes: red, blue, white, green, LED off, 256 colours. So you got red, blue, white, green, and then you got 256 colours, blink 4 times, and LED off. So those are the modes you could do. Those are the little indicator. So what we need to do is just put it together really. So I'm going to put it in there with a non-RGB motherboard, and then use the controller, see if I can hide it, because it is a bit bulky, but it's not that bulky. I'd say it's probably about 5 to 5.5 centimetres, and probably about 1 centimetre to 2 centimetres in depth. So it's not too bad. So let's just build something. Oh, by the way, the case that I've got here from Thermaltake, which I didn't even mention, is the Versa C23 TG. And the TG stands for tempered glass. And we've already done this review already, so if you want to check this out, click down below so you can have a look and check out what I said about this case. And then, yeah. Taking the side panel off of this thing. Right. Let's put the motherboard in first then. Right, so you're going to move your positions then. It's going to be nice and quick. So I've basically put the computer together and everything like that using the Thermaltake case and the Thermaltake power supply and the Thermaltake 3-ring RGB fans, and basically I've just been playing around with the colours. It's pretty awesome, but you can't sync this case to the actual controller box that you get with the fans. So I'm going to go and speak to Thermaltake and see what I can do about that. But technically you can kind of sync it together. We thought it was synced, and then I realised it wasn't even connected to it. It was just the front panel was connected to power, and then obviously the box was connected to the motherboard, which is a non-RGB motherboard. And I'll tell you what, the colours are pretty intense. It's really nice, it's really pleasurable, and it is premium colours compared to other fans that got RGBs that I've tested over like months ago, and yeah, I'm really quite impressed with them. But these ones are not the brand spanking top of the range ones, but these are good. But the power supply is brand spanking new, but it's got Haswell in it. I don't really know. But if you check down in the comments down below, not in the comments down below, if you check other videos on YouTube, you will notice that Thermaltake power supplies only just come out recently. Plus, there'll be a link in the description down below if you want to go and purchase that or this. But this is kind of like your budget sort of area. But I didn't realise it was a 6700K I had in here in the processor, so maybe it's not so budget after all. But yeah, this is still like powerful enough to do that, and the RGBs are all flowing. But in the next video anyway, I'll just might as well just stop it right here. In the next video, I'm going to be testing the power supply for overclocking the 6700K, and hopefully Thermaltake might be able to give or tell me how to connect it up to the case so it syncs it and stuff like that, because the box has really got no place to obviously connect it unless you've got something else that connects it. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing in the next video, so don't go be mad at me. I just wanted to put something together really quickly, and I didn't want the video to be too long. I think it's like 22 minutes long, and and it's even longer now because I'm speaking. So, but anyway, if I was to put all the results in, it would be about 45 minutes long. But if you want that kind of video, leave it in the comments down below. But anyway, I'm out, and I'll see you next one. Thanks for watching.